Good morning, David.
Good morning, Salim.
Now, this is very, very important to everyone. People, they do invest a lot of money and effort and time. Then it is always very, very important to know why risk management is important.
Yes, why do you and I have jobs in risk management? Why are we bothering? We think it's important because we've devoted our careers to it and we are happy to be called risk management specialists. So we think it's important. Why is that? Well, if we go back to the definition of risk, then risk is, in my simple definition, uncertainty that matters. And the reason that risk management is important is because we're dealing with things that matter. Risk is uncertainty that matters because it affects our objectives, if it happens. Objectives matter. It's really important that we achieve our objectives. If it's for projects or for business or for a nation or for our personal benefit, all of the reasons that we have objectives are because they deliver benefits, because they deliver value, because they produce things that people need and want. And so the delivery or the achievement of objectives is key. And risks are uncertainties that could affect those things. So if I really want to succeed, of course I have to manage the risks. Now, we could just hope that we get lucky. We could say, well, things might happen, but they might not. And maybe if I just sit back and I hope and I wait and maybe I pray and I say, oh, okay, it'll be fine. But it might not. And if these objectives really matter, then of course we should do everything possible to make sure that we achieve them. And that includes thinking ahead about the uncertainties that could affect us and doing something proactive to deal with uncertainties, to give ourselves the best possible chance to achieve our objectives. So of course risk management matters.
So how that is related to success or failure?
In projects, in organizations, in businesses, we all plan to succeed. So we set our goals or our objectives, and we have our strategy, and we have our schedule and our budget and our resource plan, and everything is set in motion in order to succeed. And if we could only follow our plan, we would succeed every time. But we don't succeed every time. Why don't we succeed? Because there are things that happen that we didn't plan for, things that we had not foreseen, that we hadn't created a schedule or a budget or some resource or some arrangement for, and then something comes out of the blue that we weren't expecting. And that drives us off track. And then if we're driven away from our success plan, then we don't succeed. What are those things that come which are unexpected, which drive us away from the plan? Of course, they're risks.
Of course.
Risks are uncertainties, things that we hadn't foreseen. They're not in our standard plan or our standard approach. And if they're left unmanaged, they take us away from the plan. So of course, we plan to succeed every time. And we won't succeed every time if we don't manage the risks, because some risks will occur which we hadn't foreseen, which will just take us off track. So of course we need to manage risks. And the effectiveness of our risk management is directly correlated to the probability of our success.
However, people might still say that they have been successful in different activities,
Yes.
and they didn't consider risk
Yes.
or risk management.
Well, maybe they're just lucky. Maybe they just, or maybe they're very, very clever or very exceptional. But I think you'll find that actually a lot of people are managing risk intuitively. You know, maybe we don't have a formal process called risk management, and we have a guy who's called the risk manager. But always, you cross the road. You don't just shut your eyes and cross the road. Of course you don't. You look, you see, you make sure the light is green, the little man is green, and there's no traffic, you cross the road. We manage risk naturally. And even those people who say, no, I didn't manage risk, actually, I think they probably did.
But is there an evidence that any organization, when they follow risk management or they have very solid risk management culture, then they're in a good position compared to others?
Yes, there's quite a lot of evidence. And certainly for organizations, or let's say for cultures and countries which have been managing risk for a long time, we've been collecting data for maybe 30 or 40 years. And we can see that the maturity of the risk management process is directly correlated to the chance of success, or the rate of failure, or the amount of profit, or the reduction in accidents, or the increase in market share. All of these things you can directly see a correlation between the maturity of the risk process and the success rate of the organisation. And of course it works the other way, the lack of risk management and the failure rates.
Okay, good. Sometimes, especially institutions, they see that investment in risk management activities is an extra cost
Yes.
rather than investment.
Yes.
So in this way, if you are saying that if you care about risk management, then there's a very good chance of being successful. So can we say risk management is an investment?
I think we must say that. Obviously, one of the problems is saying we're worrying about things that might never happen. We're spending time and effort and money to manage things that haven't happened yet, and maybe it won't ever happen. And so it could be a complete waste of time. And that's true. That is true. That we don't know, if we, let's say some bad thing might happen today and I invest $10,000 to stop it happening and it doesn't happen. Maybe it wasn't ever going to happen. $1,000. If it happened, then maybe it would cost me more, or maybe somebody would be injured or even killed. So what we have to do is make sure there is a positive return on investment for risk management. That means that we need to be sure, we need to be measuring, first of all, how much did we spend on risk management and how much did we save from bad things that didn't happen or from good things that we made happen. So don't forget, threats and opportunities are both sides of the coin. And so we need to be measuring the cost and the benefit and making sure we have a positive return on investment. And that can only be seen over time. But the other thing, the reason that risk management is important, is this focus on opportunities. Opportunities are uncertainties that, if they occur, will help us achieve our goals,
Definitely.
will save time, save money, enhance performance, enhance benefits. And of course, what we want to do, and what's a professional, responsible thing to do as managers, is to make sure that we take every proactive action we can to make things as good as they possibly can be. And if I said to you, I found 5 ways of saving time and money, but you don't want to know those, do you? Of course you want to know. And so risk management is about increasing the benefits and saving, and it's important for those reasons too.
So the key word here is positive return on the investment.
We must have positive return on investment. Of course, implementing risk management is a cost. But it must be a cost with a return. So we're not spending $1 million to save 10,000. We're spending $10,000 to save $1 million.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to measure that. And obviously, that sometimes risk management, we don't get it right and we do spend too much on it. We need to learn from that and make sure that as we measure, we improve.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.